day everyone, this is Princess Lynn, a first-year nursing student at Lyceum Northwestern University. And welcome to the last part of my advocacy program regarding disaster preparedness. Last video, I talked about the effects and ways of recovery on disaster and the different ways on how we can be prepared to it. And on this video, I will discuss some skills we must learn so that we can be physically and intellectually ready to deal with disasters. There are two skills we must learn during disasters. And first is the survival training, and the second is learning to do first aid. So let's start with survival training. The recent state of bad weather is reason enough to justify why survival training is so important. When nature rears its ugly head, a new set of rules apply. Generally, we take our safety for granted, and it's not until we have been exposed to danger that we become aware of how vulnerable we are. We are so used to our comforts like central heating, double glazing, running water, and electricity that we become dependent on them and cannot imagine life without them. By upholding an upright attitude, your chances of survival are greatly improved. This will greatly aid in avoiding panic and other states of mind. Our plans will come to no sense at all if our thoughts were clouded by worries that causes us to panic, which led us to more confusion on what is the right thing to do. So being able to practice good attitude and avoid being panicked will help us think wisely for our safety. Next, being able to build a shelter is of paramount importance in survival training. It is extremely important to prevent or minimize heat loss, or if in desert environment, to minimize water loss. We should practice resourcefulness at times of disaster so that we can create a temporary shelter that will somehow provide protection to us. Ideally, a person should drink a gallon of water per day. Many lost persons perish due to dehydration and debilitating effects of waterborne pathogens from untreated water. The best sources for clean drinking water in the wilderness settings are in springs, headwater streams, and collecting morning dew. We should keep ourselves hydrated, and learning how or where to get clean water is a must to survive. We should know how to create a fire so that we can warm our body and our clothes. Human can survive without food roughly 3 weeks, though I am sure you would not want to go that long without food. Thankfully, most natural environments are filled with variety of items that can meet our nutritional needs. We should not rely on our stock foods. We should also know how to get foods in the forest like that. We should also learn how to do the basic knowledge of first aid so we can't be a helpless witness. Accidents might possibly happen, so we cannot just simply stand and watch worsen the situation. We should know when to attend for help to someone, even just the basic. First aid is said to be the initial assistance given to an injured person. It comprises relatively simple techniques that can be performed with rudimentary equipment. It helps to ensure the right methods of administering medical assistance provided. There are various characteristics of a first aider. First, gentle. A first aider should have a soft and caring hand. She should be careful in helping the recipient of help. Resourceful. She should know how to be resourceful. Not having the materials does not mean that she cannot help the recipient. Instead, she should use her mind to think of substitute for that material. Next, observant. She must be an observant so that she can easily identify what is the problem of someone just by looking and observing on their nonverbal cues. consoling and sympathetic. Comfort alleviate the pain somehow. And lastly, respectful. Being respectful is a way to gain the trust of the recipient of help. Learning first aid is a must because it does more than save lives. It also enables to increase the patient's comfort. It gives you tools to prevent situation from getting worse. It also creates the confidence to care and encourages healthy and safety living. It is a matter of fact that we cannot escape the whiplash of any disaster. But by being prepared, we can create a barricade that might protect us from suffering from worse and detrimental effects of disaster. So, it's time to bid goodbye to you all as I finish this advocacy program. Thank you for supporting me until the end. I truly hope that you have learned a lot from this advocacy.